Chipotle is a popular Mexican fast food chain. What makes them stand out from other fast food chains is that their food is fresh, mostly organic, and they are also committed to sustainability. It is also quite popular for vegans. Their sofritas are just tofu, the beans are whole and not refried, and then of course rice, vegetables, guacamole, chips, and salsa are always vegan. I'm sure you have all heard the term carbon footprint when it comes to the environment. Well, Chipotle has launched what is called FoodPrint, essentially an environmental calculator for your order. You can now go onto Chipotle's site to build your exact custom order and see the impact across 5 environmental metrics: carbon, water saved, improved soil health, organic land supported, and antibiotics avoided. The catch is that Chipotle is comparing its figures on items like chicken to industry averages. That means your chicken's burrito environmental footprint is being compared to the footprint of a chicken sandwich from McDonald's or Popeyes. From one perspective, that comparison highlights Chipotle's careful ingredient sourcing, which prioritizes
Humanely raised meat purchased increasingly from small farms and medium-sized farms as opposed to factory farms.
the small, humane farm is a myth, especially here in the US. It is estimated that 99% of US farmed animals are living in factory farms at present. Where this whole metaphor begins to fall apart is when you choose sofritas, the tofu, instead of Chipotle's many options of meat. Selecting steak saves you nearly 150 milligrams of antibiotics. Choosing sofritas save none, despite the fact that tofu doesn't even need antibiotics whatsoever. Meanwhile, choosing sofritas saves 0.4 gallons of water, while beef saves no water. To the casual observer, it looks like ordering tofu is saving you a few sips of water over beef, when the actual difference is more like a swimming pool. According to the USGS, 1/4 pound of beef costs 460 gallons of water to produce. Meanwhile, beef alone is responsible for 15% of the US's total greenhouse emissions. Tofu certainly comes with environmental costs of its own, but its footprint cannot compare to that of meat and dairy. Thank you, Fast Company. There are literal mountains of evidence that point to plant-based diets being a lot less damaging to the environment. Meat production generates far more greenhouse gas emissions than production for vegan diets. Another study shows that for each gram of beef protein consumed in the human diet, beef production requires 42 times more land use, 2 times more water, and 4 times more nitrogen, while it generates 3 times more greenhouse gases than the staple plant foods. Each kilogram of beef requires 163 more land use, 18 times more water, 19 times more nitrogen, and 11 times more CO2. That in comparison to 1 kilogram of rice or 1 kilogram of potatoes. Even when intensive irrigation is needed for plant-based protein, animal protein production requires 4.4 times as much water. In conclusion, 100% plant-based diet, aka vegan, has the least environmental impact. Ultimately, I do think this is a really good idea. Many people are just simply unaware of what they eat and how it affects the environment. However, if you or Chipotle want to get really real here, update the information, get your facts straight, and of course, go vegan.